The diversity of cultures, history and topography of Europe defines the continent. Europe is considered the birthplace of civilization due to its rich cultural heritage, the formation of powerful empires, and the emergence of powerful states. Studying and understanding Europe's rich cultural diversity greatly benefits from the use of guidebooks, sometimes known as guidebooks. Travelers who like to discover new places, satisfy their curiosity and feel the special atmosphere of different cities and regions may find them useful. Millions of tourists visit Europe every year. This continent is popular with tourists because of the diversity of cultures, languages, customs and cuisines. Visitors have a variety of options, including sunny beaches, mountain resorts, charming provincial villages and big cities. Here is a list of the best places to visit in Europe. 25. Isle of Skye. The Highlands are a region in northern Scotland, sandwiched between the North Sea and the Atlantic Ocean to the east and west respectively, making it the most northerly part of mainland Scotland. When it comes to holidays on isolated islands, Scotland is second only to the rest of Europe. The largest island of the Inner Hebrides, an archipelago off the west coast of Scotland consisting of more than 40 islands, is the Isle of Skye. At first, your eyes are drawn to the snow-capped peaks of the Cullen Mountains, impressive mountain peaks that create a fascinating contrast with the emerald pastoral valleys and misty beaches. But the Isle of Skye isn't just about scenic mountains, it is also the mysterious ruins of ancient castles and fortresses, creating an atmosphere of ancient legend and mystery. Built Rock and Melt Falls offer fantastic views of the Skye coast. Another popular attraction on the Isle of Skye is Old Store Rock, but be sure to plan your visit carefully to avoid the crowds. As well as enjoying a drink at Talisker, Tarabaig or Rossay distilleries, you can sip a drink with an incredible view. 24. Seville. You should definitely explore the whole region of Andalusia. Seville, the capital, is a great place for a quick trip to Europe. A medieval city full of Gothic, Moorish and Jewish monuments, as well as winding streets, lovely gardens and plenty of tapas. The city is easy to walk around, but if you can't walk in plus 35 degrees centigrade, try to avoid the summer months of July and August. It can get quite hot in early autumn, and you'll see people lowering their shutters during the day to cool off. Seville, a former Iberian settlement, flourished under Roman rule as Hispalis. Later, under Muslim rule in 711, it became an important cultural and commercial center. You will have the opportunity to see the Real Alcázar, another outstanding work of art, while staying near the Gothic Giralda Tower and Seville Cathedral. King Pedro I ordered the construction of this palace in the 14th century, and it represents a unique combination of Christian and Moorish artistic traditions and symbolism. The king brought the two cultures together in an unprecedented way by working with Moorish workers. Visit these magnificent towers to fully immerse yourself in the amazing world of art and history. It is no wonder that Seville is among the top 10 destinations in Europe. 23. Ljubljana. Ljubljana is an unusual European city. The capital of Slovenia is a historical place that has avoided excessive tourism. It's also a fantastic place to start exploring other exciting regions of the country thanks to its central location. The city is full of fascinating architecture, including Baroque and Renaissance buildings, as well as Roman ruins. There's also an alternative art scene here, so you can visit Metalkova, barracks converted into art studios with huge mosaics and wall sculptures, as well as bars and music venues, and stroll along the street art trails. When someone visits Ljubljana, their first impression is that it is a very young city. More than 50,000 students study here, which creates a unique atmosphere. Today, the city's elite colleges and institutes attract academics, while its numerous art galleries, art academy and world-renowned graphics biennale attract artists. More than 10,000 cultural events are held annually in the city, 10 of which are international festivals. Visitors and locals alike can enjoy the works of artists from around the world. Cycling is also great for the surrounding countryside, where you can take half-day or full-day tours of Lake Pidpich and the moors. You can cycle around lakes, charming towns, national parks, waterfalls and Georges. 22. Zermatt. At 14,692 feet, the Matterhorn is located near the border between Italy and Switzerland. Here are the most unhurried attractive villages. The ski area has 360 kilometers of pistes and 54 mountain railways and lifts. The Glacier Paradise on the Matterhorn is one such area. This is the biggest and baddest summer skiing region in Europe. Many national ski teams train here in the summer. Climbers know the area well thanks to the Upper Route, a busy multi-day international route that connects Mont Blanc to Zermatt. A total of 400 kilometers of hiking trails, some of them paved, wind through the Mule Traders and the Materia Valley. The trails date back to the 13th century. The main river of the valley, the Wispa, originates from the glaciers at the foot of the mountains and flows through Zermatt. The highest peaks, the Zmutt Glacier between Dent Darren and Dent Blanche on the west side, and the Horner Glacier near Monte Rosa on the east side. Zermatt is a small village, despite its dense population. Three main streets and numerous intersections run along the banks of the Mater Vispa River, particularly around the station and the church, which serve as the focal points of the village. In general, a maximum of 30 minutes walk. Zermatt is home to a number of suburbs. Originally a separate small village of Winkelmatten is located on a hill, 1670 meters, on the south side. Steinmatten is located on the eastern bank of the river. 21. Verdon Gorge. Corsica is a fascinating landmass of rocky coasts and mountainous terrain that can be reached by ferry in 4 hours from the south of France. This river canyon, known as the Grand Canyon of Europe, is located in the central province and has the deepest gorge in France, as well as some of the most breathtaking views in the region. It is located near Sardinia, a neighbor of Italy, and is washed by the Tyrrhenian, Mediterranean and Ligurian seas. The best place to start exploring the island's mountains and gorge is Monte Cisco, the highest peak rising 2,708 meters above the town of Corti in the center of the island. The beaches on the Corsican coast are the most ideal in the entire Mediterranean. Crescent-shaped bays with white sand, crystal clear water and rocky coves stretch from Ajaccio along the west coast to Bonifacio and Porto Vecchio in the south. La Plage de Solecchia is without a doubt the best beach. It is a fascinating beach with soft white sand and turquoise sea, which is hidden from view by buildings. Magnificent views and vistas can be found in the granite mountains that form the Corsican Ridge in the central part. A walk along the scenic network of local trails and forest tracks is the best way to explore these stunning inland landscapes. Corsica's prehistoric monuments are a unique feature. They are considered the greatest archaeological treasures of the Western Mediterranean. 20. Bosnia and Herzegovina. In the middle of the Balkans there is a city that seems to have flown out of a fairy tale. A city where culture, history and scenic beauty combine to create a fascinating mosaic. Greetings from the Pearl of Bosnia and Herzegovina, Mostar. Despite significant damage during the Balkan War of the 1990s, the region has recovered and has become one of the most popular tourist destinations in the country. The old bridge, built by the Ottoman Empire in the 16th century across the Neretva River, is Mostar's most famous landmark. In the summer, you can see professional drivers jumping from it into the river. A stone not to forget is an important reminder to tourists that the horrors Mostar endured during the conflict are still relatively recent in the city's history. This is the main attraction of Mostar, which attracts tourists from all over the world. Interesting fact. The bridge gave the city its name. However, there are some truly amazing places outside the city. Blagag Takia, a sacred site that has been home to an ancient brotherhood of dervishes for over 600 years, is located a few miles from Mostar. It may have escaped damage during the fighting because it is hidden under a rock near the source of the Buna River. The amazing Krivitja waterfalls, still little known to tourists, are located south of Mostard. As a result, you can take your time to discover its natural beauty, enjoy the fresh forest air and relax under the waterfall. 19. Transylvania, historical territory that was mostly part of the borders of Hungary until 1918. Although most people only know it as the residence of vampires, this Eastern European location extends far beyond the forest surrounding Dracula's castle. This vast area in the heart of Romania offers a variety of experiences such as stunning scenery, historic castles, such as Bran Castle associated with Dracula, citadel ruins, fortified towns and salt mines. Set amidst picturesque villages and medieval ruins, the region boasts a rich geographical location, natural protection and breathtaking scenery. It is part of the Carpathian Arc. Alternatively, you can go on a strenuous hike and visit places like Becheji Nature Park, just plan ahead or go on an organized trip through brown bear habitat. Take a trip along the Transfigueras Highway, an incredible mountain road that offers breathtaking views of the Great Plains of Transylvania. The most diverse territory of Transylvania is its hilly terrain. About 75% of Romania's oak forests, which are the symbol of Transylvania, are concentrated in this region. On the southern slopes grow such rare plants as Sitania with purple flowers, iris and orchids. 18. Matka Canyon. Paradise can be found without going to the tropics. Matka Canyon, one of the world's largest cave systems, is a breathtaking gorge with crystal clear water, located just a few miles from Skopje, the capital of Macedonia. It is ideal for European off-road. Both locals and tourists come here to enjoy rock climbing, diving, kayaking, hiking and other outdoor activities, away from the hustle and bustle of the city. The towering mountains, which descend sharply to a deep gorge filled with green water, are breathtaking regardless of the season. In fact, nature itself did not create this wonderful place. The river Triska was dammed in 1938, creating the oldest artificial lake in North Macedonia, surrounded by high mountains. The area of the Matka Canyon is approximately 5,000 hectares. The area is home to 20% of the world's endemic plant species, which are unique to the area. In addition, you can see 77 different species of butterflies nearby. There are 10 caves in the Matka Canyon, the most famous of which is the Vrelo Cave. It was even included in the list of the 77 largest natural objects of the new Seven Wonders of the World project. 17. Westfjords. One of the most beautiful and outstanding areas of Iceland is the Westfjords. With its unspoilt landscapes, winding fjords and quaint villages, this area is unlike any other in the country. Due to its distance from the most visited places in Iceland, the Westfjords are often overlooked despite the fact that they have many fascinating natural features that beckon to be explored. Why then visit Westfjords? It is remote, sparsely populated and has a different landscape than most of Iceland. You'll need a car to get around because it's quite dramatic and difficult, but the 107-mile drive from Reykjavik makes it worth it. Once there, you can see the dead end of the rocks at Latrbjarga, as well as the lesser-known Dinjandi waterfall and the pink sand beach of Rudasandura. It is also a fantastic place to watch whales, seals and foxes. However, be sure to plan your visit carefully, as the best time to visit is between May and October, due to heavy snowfall that makes winter travel impossible. The Golden Ring and the Blue Lagoon are two of the most famous and visited places in Iceland, many people even consider them a must-see. 16. Giant's Causeway. The Giant's Causeway is one of Europe's most exquisite natural wonders. Located near Belfast, this UNESCO World Heritage Site is only a few minutes away by train. And it is clear why. There is a legend according to which the location of the massive stairs, which are actually tens of thousands of interconnected basalt columns, was determined by a battle between two giants from Scotland and Ireland. Legends of giants crossing the sea to reach Scotland originate from this spectacular show. Although a visit to the visitor center provides a more scientific origin story involving volcanic activity, the myth of Finn McCool is still a great story. Either way, it's a fascinating coastline. Explore the area by strolling along the coastal causeway, perfect for strolling among the historic cliffs. The National Fund owns and manages most of the 70-hectare land. A network of trails provides access to the coast, allowing visitors to explore geological features up close and enjoy views along the cliffs. The path is generally safe, guarded and maintained inconspicuously. The National Trust provides permanent protection to the main components of the dam, rocks and stones. Before the territory was protected, souvenir stones were removed from the road, but this practice has long since ended. 15. Alps. Any tour to Switzerland must include a visit to the Swiss Alps. Switzerland is the country most associated with the Alps, despite having less than 15% of the Alps. Switzerland undoubtedly contains many of the highest peaks and largest glaciers, in addition to some of the most famous alpine sites, including the Matterhorn, the Eiger and the Jungfrau. Almost all the highest peaks of the Alps are located in Switzerland. These are the highest peaks of Dufourspitz, also known as Monte Rosa 4634 meters colloquially. Switzerland accounts for 44% of the total area of glaciers in the Alps. 3% of the territory of Switzerland, or 1,220 square kilometers, is covered by the glaciers of the Swiss Alps. It is hard to imagine Switzerland without mountains. Switzerland's identity has been shaped by the Alps since ancient times, and they are of immense historical and geopolitical importance. The country's economic center is still the Central Plateau, but the mountains are vital to much of the country's economy. Switzerland's mountains are a popular tourist destination, and numerous tunnels and alpine passes serve as important transit routes. 14. London. You will not find a single person, not even an intellectual, who would like to leave London, observed the English writer Samuel Johnson. No sir. London offers everything that life has to offer, so a person who is tired of it is simply tired of life. Even though Johnson lived over 200 years ago, his advice is still relevant today. Life in London is steeped in richness, and visitors find that one trip is not enough to fully appreciate all that this 2,000-year-old city has to offer. It is the most densely populated city in Great Britain. What the Romans called Londinium had almost 2,000 years of history. With its location on the mighty River Thames and easy access to both the Thames estuary and the ocean beyond, the site has always been of great importance. During the height of the British Empire in the 19th century, London's docks, now home to stylish apartments, played a crucial role in the city's rise as the world's largest commercial center. London is one of the most visited cities in the world due to its many attractions. London offers everything a tourist could want or need, including culture, shopping, palaces and an exciting nightlife. London's popularity is also largely due to its convenient public transport system. 13. Venice. Venice is a city in Italy, a major port, the capital of the province, one of the oldest tourist and cultural centers in the world. The city occupies an unprecedented position in the imagination of the West since the fall of the Republic of Venice in 1797 and has been widely depicted in both prose and poetry. It is difficult to distinguish the real city from its romantic images of shining marble and frescoed palaces, bells and domes, which are written about and filmed. These sights are reflected in the shimmering waters of the lagoon under the blue sky of the Adriatic. Venice has a mystical appeal. It may sound strange, but you will understand when you see a city floating in water. The magnificent Grand Canal greets you as soon as you step out of the Santa Lucia train station. You can catch a glimpse of a serenade and witness water taxis sailing under the Ponte degli Scalzi. The interesting atmosphere of this city surrounded by a canal is its main attraction. 12. Athens. Greek Athens, one of the oldest cities on earth, is credited with establishing democracy. With a history spanning over 3 millennia, this city is the best for sightseeing. The name of the city honors Athena, the goddess of wisdom and daughter of Zeus. As she was the protector of the city, the Parthenon temple at the top of the Acropolis is named after her. Today, the city's vast modern cityscape, hidden beneath the Parthenon, is a reflection of its multifaceted modern personality, its fascinating history, its infrastructure and amenities. The modern capital of Greece survived the Trojan and Peloponnesian Wars and has experienced periods of prosperity and obscurity throughout its centuries-long history. The center of Athens has it all, from high-end establishments in Kolonaki to traditional family restaurants in the old districts at the foot of the Acropolis. To find great restaurants away from the noisy tourists, head to quieter areas such as Koukaki, Metz or Pangradi. The best sights are the impressive Acropolis of Athens, which was built for both military and religious purposes and is located on top of a high hill in the center of the city. The huge Parthenon, located at the top of the Acropolis, serves as both a symbol and a highly artistic building. This architectural wonder, which is considered one of the most outstanding ancient creations of Greece, is historically characterized by a peculiar synthesis of religious and military elements. 11. Amalfi Coast. The Amalfi Coast is a sun-kissed pearl with unrivaled culinary customs, charming towns with sea views and priceless historical heritage. This stretch of the Tyrrhenian coast in southern Italy, stretching from Positano to Vitry sul Mare, is one of the most popular tourist destinations in Campania. Monte Latari is ahead, then the Gulf of Salerno. Among the world's most popular destinations are towering cliffs, quaint bays and coves, terraces dotted with citrus, vineyards and olive trees, high-end retail shops and artisan workshops. Between the Gulfs of Naples and Salerno, the expansive and enchanting Amalfi Coast is home to the province's 16 exquisite municipalities. Thanks to the impenetrable structure of the coast, which results in tiny but amazing pebbles between the rocks, the beaches of the Amalfi Coast are among the most beautiful in the Tyrrhenian Sea and in the entire globe, despite their small size. If you are interested in exploring the magical natural caves, you should not miss the equally popular caves of the Amalfi Coast. 10. Trisco, Isles of Scilly. Trisco is a small family island that extends to a maximum width of 2.5 miles. It is one of 5 inhabited islands that make up the Isles of Scilly, an area of outstanding natural beauty, along with around 200 other islands, islets and rocks. Many people enjoy walking along the large moorland that forms the northern edge of Tresco, offering wonderful views of both the steeper northern cliffs and the picturesque islands of Tyne, St. Helens and North Weddell. Tresco's past is steeped in legend, such as the theory that King Arthur may have died here, and artifacts such as stone forts. Plants from temperate and subtropical regions of the world are collected in the garden. With over 20,000 exotic plants from around the world, including Brazil and New Zealand, Tresco Abbey Gardens is a fantastic subtropical gem, a riot of colorful flowers. There are bird hides and freshwater ponds in the center of the island, but the north of Trisco is more difficult to explore. 9. Meteors. Meteora, which translates as suspended in the air, is a fascinating region in Greece that has been home to unusual rock formations formed by wind, rain and other natural processes over millions of years. These unique stone pillars were created over millions of years by various natural forces. According to geologists, this process began in the Paleogene era, about 60 million years ago. Monks lived in the Meteora caves as early as the 11th century. But the monks only started building monasteries in the 14th century when they needed a place to hide from the increasing number of Turkish attacks on Greece. Then a winch or a set of removable steps allowed to climb to the top. The stairs, which were cut out of the rock in the 1920s, have made it much easier to get up today. Only 6 of the 24 monasteries remain active. Meteora is an incredible place for climbers and tourists. Climbers of all skill levels can choose from 700 different routes that span Meteora's 120 rock towers. 8. Krka National Park. One of Croatia's greatest natural treasures, Krka National Park is just an hour's drive from Split along the Krka River. This area of Dalmatia is home to Krka Park, which is approximately 10 kilometers from Šibenik. The park's stunning waterfalls, including the famous Skradinski Buk waterfall, one of the most famous attractions in Croatia, are its main attraction. The Roski Slap waterfall and the tiny island of Visovac are 2 more attractions. Explore one of the ecosystems with the richest flora preserved and intact. Skradinski Beach is an amazing natural pool with numerous waterfalls, which is worth visiting, although swimming in it is already prohibited. Skradinski Buk waterfalls are a group of 17 waterfalls, the total height of which exceeds 45 meters. Swimming was once allowed near these falls, which is a fantastic activity, but as of 2021, this is prohibited to protect the park's waterways. The best way to see the sights of the park is definitely by boat that departs from Scranton. In addition to allowing you to see the splendor of the park up close in a relaxed atmosphere, these tours also give you the opportunity to stop and walk along the walking paths bordering the water, as well as presentations, talks and other interesting things. 7. Pompeii. Near the southeastern base of Campania, Italy, 14 miles (23 kilometers) southeast of Naples, lies the well-preserved ancient Roman city of Pompeii. There were bakeries with bread in the ovens, and the bodies of those who survived the eruption were found buried under others who had died. The buildings and their belongings captured the essence of ancient life and sparked a revival of interest in all things classical in the 18th century. BC, an amphitheater, luxurious mansions and a variety of 4th century houses have also been found. Numerous tours depart from nearby locations, such as the villages on the Amalfi Coast, to the archaeological park of Pompeii, which is definitely worth a visit. It can also be combined with climbing Vesuvius. The Amphitheater of Pompeii, one of the oldest surviving Roman amphitheaters, the Forum, the House of Pharaon and the Basilica are must-see attractions. It's an amazing experience to travel back in time and explore the streets the Romans once walked, so make the most of this unique opportunity. This port city is home to exquisite artwork depicting everything from everyday life to epic myths and legends, as well as temples and historic eateries. 6. Madrid. The beautiful capital of Spain, Madrid welcomes millions of tourists every year and offers travelers an adventure filled with exciting experiences and memories to last a lifetime. Start by visiting the nearby Almudena Cathedral and learning about the life of the Spanish royal family at Madrid's royal palace. A generation after Philip II moved the court to Madrid in 1561, Philip III officially declared Madrid the nation's capital. Madrid became a city of intriguing contrasts under the patronage of Philip II and his successors, retaining its old, overcrowded center around which grew palaces, monasteries, churches and public buildings. Grand neoclassical buildings and grand boulevards, designed by the era's greatest architects, contrast with the old center, a maze of narrow streets surrounding several squares on the edge of the Grand Plaza Mayor. Some of the best museums in Europe can be found in Madrid. Visit the Prado Museum to see the greatest works of Goya, Rubens or El Greco, or the Reina Sofia Museum to see Pablo Picasso's Guernica. Madrid's central location makes it a great place to start exploring Spain's other treasures, such as the magnificent medieval castle of Segovia. 5. Azores Islands. Mother Nature has created a country full of natural beauty, waiting to be explored in the middle of the vast blue Atlantic Ocean. The Azores. A hidden gem in the Atlantic Ocean, the subtropical archipelago of the Azores is often compared to Hawaii and is one of Europe's best-kept secrets. Portuguese navigators discovered or identified, depending on the historian, the Azores in 1427. Portuguese settlers first arrived in the Azores in the 15th century, but small groups of Flemish people also settled on several islands. San Miguel, the largest island, is attractive with its Fogo and Set Cidades lagoons. Volcanic lakes, hot and thermal springs are manifestations of the Earth's energy. See whales and dolphins or go on a diving expedition at sea. Hike the wonderful trails and admire the views of the Set Cidades caldera on São Miguel Island and the Boca do Inferno. Climb Mount Pico on Pico Island, Monte Brasil on Terceira or Fajan Grande on Flores for spectacular views and several lakes. 4. Kiruna. Sweden's northernmost city, Kiruna, has a lot to offer. Here you can enjoy the northern sun and watch the northern lights. Sweden's highest peak, Kebnekaise, is another attraction. Swedish Lapland, which makes up a large part of almost 25% of Sweden, includes the beautiful city of Kiruna, which is located about 200 kilometers north of the Arctic Circle. As part of Sapmi, the traditional homeland of the indigenous Sami people, which spans the national border, Kiruna also has cultural and historical value. Kiruna is surrounded by a large and varied landscape, ranging from lakes, rivers and mountains to dense forests and vast swamps. This is an ideal place for lovers of active recreation. Hiking, fly fishing, skiing, snowshoeing, and dog sledding are all great activities in these areas. From an urban perspective, Kiruna is attractive. First established in 1900, this historic mining town is being transformed by the mining industry's impact on the region. Buildings are physically raised and moved while other buildings are destroyed and rebuilt on a regular basis to continue mining. 3. Capri. The Tyrrhenian Sea, part of the Mediterranean Sea, contains the small island of Capri. It is located in the Campania region of Italy, in the province of Naples. There are references to the Italian island in ancient Greek mythology. Venetians founded the city, if historical evidence is to be believed. After that, the Greeks lived here and later it was taken over by Naples. However, the Roman ruler Octavian Augustus traded the island of Ischia for his beloved Capri back in 29 BC. Fearing a conspiracy, his heir Tiberius established a house on the island and built 12 branches at once. After all, none of his followers knew where the king would spend the night at any given time. The island of Capri itself, with its views, rocky shores and quaint charm, is a major tourist destination. There are many pleasant walks you can take while traveling around the island. The views of the gardens of Augusta, the Faraglian rocks and the Bay of Naples are among the most stunning. The remains of Emperor Tiberius's mansion and the rocks he is said to have climbed can be seen at the abandoned village Ovis. 2. The language of the Troll. The most prominent rock in Norway is called Troll's Tongue. It is located approximately 700 meters above the Ringjedalsvatnet Lake at an altitude of 1,180 meters above sea level. An amazing view opens from the top. Starting from Skjeggedal, the climb to Troll's Tongue winds through high mountains. The sights are truly impressive, but the long and difficult climb on Trolltunga through the highlands is worth it. The wonderful and well-defined route to the Troll's Tongue, pointers show remaining and distance traveled. Mobile communication is available for most of the way. There are 14 kilometers of hiking here. It starts at Ringjedalsvatnet Lake and, depending on the skill level, lasts between 8 and 12 hours. Take time to enjoy the journey and admire the stunning Norwegian scenery despite the difficult road. Then there is a strong climb to Trombasker and then a dip to Store Florin. Florin is the name of an emergency house. In an emergency, you can find a home here. Like a massive troll's tongue carved from stone, the troll's tongue juts out at right angles to the slope. It's waiting for you to reach its edge, enjoy the view, exhale and pat yourself on the back for climbing one of Norway's most famous and distinctive mountain plateaus. It was there for thousands of years. 1. Crete. The largest island of Greece, Crete is known for its enchanting beaches, breathtaking scenery, great food and a rich cultural and historical heritage spanning thousands of years. The mystery of Crete is deep, said Nikos Kazantzakis, the most famous writer from Crete and Zorba the Greek. Arriving on this island, one feels a warm and supportive force coursing through one's veins, causing one's spirit to expand. It is clear why anyone who visits this otherworldly, compassionate and virtuous island south of the Aegean Sea is enchanted and feels the essence of Greece. Crete is home to some of Greece's greatest sights, including famous archaeological sites such as the Minon palaces of Knossos, Festa, Malia and Katos Akros. The most visited places in Crete. This is the historic city of Chania, home to the famous Venetian lighthouse. Heraklion, the port city of Venice, is a lively city with plenty to see. A modern summer resort with the ethereal appeal of Lake Vlygmeni, rumored to be bottomless.